It's the Bennie Randall Show. It's the Bennie Randall Show. It's the Bennie Randall Show. It's the Bennie Randall Show.
Welcome to another edition of the Bennie Randall Show. I'm your host, Bennie Randall Jr., a.k.a. The Motivator. And this powerful show brings you conversations with today's stars and tomorrow's legends. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the ride. Come on.
It's the Bennie Randall Show. 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 I love the Bennie Randall. I love the Bennie Randall. I love the Bennie Randall Show. Yeah. I love the Bennie Randall. I love the Bennie Randall. I love the Bennie Randall Show. Yeah.
Good evening and welcome to another edition of the Bennie Randall Show. I'm your host, Bennie Randall Jr., a.k.a. The Motivator, a.k.a. Global Entrepreneur and Investor. And it is my humble pleasure that you allow me into your hearts and your homes once again. And like always, you can learn more about me at BennieRandall.com, or you can go to Vinoy.com and check the live versions of this and the full episodes over at Vinoy Media on YouTube. Man, let me tell you something. You know, since I've been in this podcasting world, media world, and the entertainment world, you know, sometimes you meet very special people and you meet people who have that it factor. You know what I mean? But one thing I think I like most, I like people who tell it like it is, whether you like it or not. And I got to admit, this queen I'm about to bring on right now, she does exactly that. Now, just in case you've never heard of her, I don't even have to give her a long bio. When she come on, you're going to be like, oh, that's my girl. That's my girl. She is Sandra Harris, a.k.a. Sassy Scribe. And when I tell you, she has a powerful show called Shut the Hell Up. All right. And let me tell you, anything that's current events or whatever, she got an opinion and it's usually right. And even if it ain't right, I don't say nothing because I'm scared. You know what I mean? So, you know, I want to welcome to the show, the first video show that she's ever done with me. I want to welcome Sandra Sassy Scribe, the queen of real media. All right.
Good evening.
This is going to be an interesting show, ladies and gentlemen. You know, we always talk about entrepreneurship and everything, but, you know, sometimes you need to get away and just talk about some world events. And I can tell you, Sandra Harris knows how to bring it in. And usually, like I told you, she's usually right if you give her a moment and think about how she says it. You know what I mean? And one thing about it, she ain't scared of nobody, ladies and gentlemen. She will tell you how she feel and she'll feel what she say. OK, Sandra, before we begin, we would like to send, you know, our prayers out to all of those that are in Baltimore with that rescue operation on the way to the Baltimore Bridge. Are you familiar with that bridge?
Yes. Well, first of all, thank you for having me on the Bennie Randall Show. The Bennie Randall Show. Yes, I really want to thank you for having me on. And I'm in the DMV. I'm actually in Maryland, about 25 minutes from where that bridge collapsed. And it's a devastating event. It's really catastrophic. And my hearts and thoughts and prayers go out to all involved. I mean, like I was saying to you before we started the show, I used to drive that bridge.
Wow.
And I remember getting stuck at the top of the bridge and I could literally feel it sway. And all I kept doing was like praying, like, Jesus, hurry up, let this clear up. Jesus, let me get off this bridge. And then I didn't take the bridge when I went home that day. I went all the way around the Beltway, but it's going to be a mess in Baltimore for a while, especially the Beltway. That's a major roadway.
Wow.
The ships are already piling up in the ocean, out in the river, trying to get in.
just in case you guys don't know or you haven't heard about it, here's a little clip from today's show talking about the rescue operations.
This morning, a stunning bridge collapse at the Port of Baltimore.
The entire Key Bridge is in the harbor.
The Francis Scott Key Bridge plunging into the water overnight after it was hit by a cargo container ship.
I wanted to know what the bang was. Ship hit the Key Bridge, sinking. The bridge is gone. Holy hell.
Video shows smoke coming from the ship before it hit the bridge. The bridge is normally a major artery spanning the Patapsco River, and though the collapse happened in the early morning hours, 1:30 a.m., video shows cars crossing moments before the ship hits. The traffic then paused, but vehicles were still on the bridge as it then crumbled into the water. Fire department and Coast Guard teams rushed to the scene, rescuers searching the water overnight.
Still very much in an active search and rescue posture. Our sonar has detected the presence of vehicles submerged in the water.
The ship is an almost 950-foot container vessel called Dolly, headed from Baltimore to Sri Lanka. The Synergy Marine Corporation saying it collided with the bridge pillar, and all of its crew members, including the 2 pilots, have been accounted for. The ship reportedly lost power while in the water. This morning, with the sun rising, search teams continue looking for any survivors in the water as the Baltimore area reels from a major collapse.
Wow, that is that clip was from today's show. That was so. Let me ask you about. I know you live in that area. So, is this the main thoroughfare from going from Baltimore to where?
It connects Baltimore to like the Essex Dundalk area. So it's over the Patapsco River. Not that people can't get to it, but you will have to travel all the way around 695 to get to the same location that you could have gotten to over the bridge in maybe 30 or 40 minutes. It's now going to be an hour commute. If I still worked in that area, it would be well over an hour commute. Well,
so there's an alternate route. Does traffic go both ways on that bridge?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Oh,
yes.
wow.
Traffic goes both ways. So the people on that bridge, they will have to go all the way around. And then you think about it now, it's spring break. Thank goodness. But next week, what are they going to do when kids are back in school?
Yeah,
you know, it's a main thoroughfare. And Baltimore is a major port.
I'm so glad that
it's going to impact a lot of a lot of the supply chain is going to be impacted.
Oh, but well, our prayers go out to us from the Bennie Randall Show and all our staff and all our companies to those. Sassy, let's get down to business, Sassy.
What do we want to talk about first?
There is so much in the news. There's so much in current events, and you always in the loop. So you know what we gonna start you with, Sassy. I ain't gonna even tell. You know what we gonna start you with, and just to see how it goes down. Your boy Diddy in some problems. Check this out, Sassy.
Hey there, I'm Hallie, and tonight we are starting with that dramatic situation happening as we speak in both LA and Miami Beach at the homes of Sean Diddy Combs. You know him as Diddy, formerly Puff Daddy, big-time rapper, big-time producer, big-time superstar, and now the feds at his houses in both locations. This is a live look right now. On the left, that's West Coast, that's LA. On the right, that's Miami Beach you're looking at. I want to show you in just the last couple of minutes in LA, agents holding what look to be guns as they walk into the home, as they enter the home, and you can see some of the apparatus there that they've brought. I want to get to Dana Griffin, who is following this for us now. Why is this happening? What do we know?
Hallie, still, as you mentioned, this is a developing story, so we're learning new details minute by minute. NBC News has confirmed that this is a raid being conducted by Homeland Security and that the warrant specifically came out of the Southern District of New York. Now, we believe this is tied to sex trafficking allegations. There's an investigation into claims that the rapper may have been involved in this. So we believe this is connected to that. But obviously, what a split screen moment here to see investigations not only in Miami, but also Los Angeles, which shows that this was very coordinated and planned. And remember, when it comes to warrants, these aren't things that are just, done haphazardly. This had to be signed by a judge. So this was obviously very methodical. And this is a sprawling home here in California. This is located in the Holmby Hills area, a very wealthy area. That home that we can see from that sky cam is massive, sprawling, and we don't know exactly what they are looking for. It could be something as small as a USB drive, or it could be several boxes of documents that could prove his guilt or prove his innocence. So, and you mentioned those guns that we saw law enforcement carrying. It sounds like that's pretty routine because they're going into a home.
All right, we can let it play on. I'm sure you've already seen it. What's going on, Sassy?
Let me get a drink. Let me get a drink.
Oh, no, you did. I'm drinking with you, Sassy. I got some hard stuff.
You got some real hard stuff. I got the good stuff.
Water over here, Sassy. Stew.
In my homemade Prince cup, Prince wine glass.
Yeah. See, I'm not that big like that. I ain't got it like that. You know what I mean? Talk to me, Sassy. What's going on? What's going on with your boy Diddy? Talk to me. One thing I know, Sassy, if Homeland Security come to your place, so
they got receipts. They're not coming without receipts.
Yeah.
Here's my question though. I gotta say this. I have
Go
to
ahead. Go ahead.
They're raiding Diddy's home, right?
Yep.
And then we see white privilege where Matt Gaetz took a teenager across state lines and is still sitting in Congress, but y'all don't hear me.
Ooh,
privilege. His daddy has money. They live in Florida. The Homeland Security, they're not raiding his home. They're going after Diddy.
Well, Diddy got money. So what's going on?
Diddy's also black.
Diddy's
also black.
And you can have money, but if you have money and you're not of another color, it still don't matter because you just black with a lot of money.
You just black with a lot of money. And the justice system is proving that every day with Trump, right? Every day they're proving it. They're doing everything they can because this man is wealthy and it's not supposed to happen to him. It can happen to Diddy. Diddy came from nothing and made himself into something. But I'm not a big fan of conspiracy theories and the Illuminati, but he pissed somebody off. And they took his hands. The hands of protection that were covering him are now gone. They lifted their hands and said, "Here you go, have at it."
Oh wow! So you believe they've let him go now, and he's open for everybody else. Is that what you're saying?
It was, first of all of these people coming out with this. Oh, I saw this and that. I really don't want to hear you because you were complicit. You was part of it. Can I cuss you? You were complicit.
Yeah, but we gonna try to keep it down to because we know.
All right.
You'll get like a sailor, but we go ahead.
But they were complicit in all of the BS that they saw, that they witnessed, and now you got all of these different people coming out. You see these different clips. I remember this, and I saw that, and I couldn't leave this girl here, and I couldn't. Diddy did something. Now, is it sex trafficking? I don't know. I don't know if it's sex trafficking.
Well, everything is alleged, right?
Everything is alleged. Everything is alleged. It broke my heart though, because allegedly he was in Florida, but allegedly he was nowhere to be found. And then you see his children being taken out.
You've seen it. TMZ had a video of him pacing back and forth at the airport in Miami.
I didn't see that.
Yeah, it was on TMZ. They had this little video, he just pacing back and forth by himself at the Miami airport where you catch your private jets. Right.
But he had his children. He shouldn't have been at the airport. His ass should have been back at the house. His children were in that home.
LA, right? He's in Miami.
Really? I thought the children. Yeah. Then maybe I'm getting confused.
Yeah, let's not confuse the public.
Let's not confuse the two, please. Right. Strike that from the record. Strike that from
strike. There was one house in LA and there was a house in Miami. Only the kids were at the house in LA. He was in Miami already, but he wasn't at the Miami house. When TMZ, according to TMZ, and the video I seen, it had him pacing back and forth at the airport where you catch private jets. Like somebody who's nervous.
Right. That I would be nervous if he had one of the homes in his daughter's name. His children His children are in,
That's the LA home.
That's the LA home, right? That was in his daughter's name. To see them bring his children out, and they had one of the sons in handcuffs.
Well, we got to be fair. That is formality because you remember they're doing a raid on a home and they don't know who's in there and doing what. So that's customary. That's nothing unusual. They coming out with guns. It ain't like they was going in to get. They was going in to get evidence. Like you said earlier, you say they got receipts.
They had receipts.
So going in to get evidence. That they already knew that was probably there, but you remember everything is a surprise because they don't want you to be able to destroy anything, you know. But it's funny because when Donald Trump was getting raided, he was warned a couple days in advance.
Privilege. It's
is
privilege.
That what
it's listen, we have to understand and recognize as a people, what they do, we cannot do. I don't care how much money you have. They're still gonna see this. We had a biracial president for 8 years. All they saw was this.
Wow.
His white side didn't matter. It didn't count because he didn't present. And I'll take it even further with the original colonizers over across the water over in England. Meghan Markle, who presents as we know she black because we know what we look like in all of the colors. But they didn't have any idea who she was until they saw her mama.
Right.
She just looked exotic.
And then that's when they focused on the color part versus
her race, calling the baby a monkey. What is the baby going to look like? The baby's going to look like a monkey. And how dark is the baby going to be?
Okay. Did they say that or that's allegedly said that?
No. The British media actually took a picture of her and him with a baby monkey and said, this is what their son was going to look like.
Wow.
Yes, the British media went very hard. They went very hard for them. And they blame her for him leaving. When he was like, I'm taking care of my family. I remember what you guys did to my mom. And I'm not allowing that to happen to my wife and my family. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it.
It's amazing it's amazing that we still live in that time because, you know, although financially, you know, we have come a long way. A lot of us have become a long way, you know, including myself. But I guess it don't matter if you come a long way and you don't have the color of choice. Is that kind of what you're saying?
Melanin. If you have too much melanin, you have too much melanin. It really doesn't matter. And you're right, it's 2024. But let's think about this. The civil rights movement was 65. I was born in 67. So how old is that? Not very old. The right to vote was 65. And they're doing everything in their power to turn back time. And Biden is not my first choice. But out of all of the candidates, he's the only choice.
How do you feel? I'm curious, Sassy. How do you feel about both of them being so far up in age and kind of in their own ways? How do you feel about that? I mean, and then the question number 2, it seems there's millions of people in the world. How come we only end up with these 2 granddaddies?
Well, because again, the country was set up for those 2 granddaddies. This is what the country was made for. The country was built by us, made for them. So my mother is 85 years old. We just threw her a surprise birthday party in January. She just turned 85. My mother.
You ain't invited me, so that's all right though.
Next time, we got another party coming up in June. But listen, we party. But when I look at her and her mental ability, my mother is very sharp, extremely sharp.
That's a blessing.
I see no mental declination in Biden the way in which I do Trump. But to me, Trump is half retarded anyway. That's not even politically correct to say. But I mean, this man has given license to individuals. Now, Bennie, I need to understand this. He has given license to individuals who, for whatever reason, feel disenfranchised in America. and they don't look like us. For a country that was built for them to succeed with every advantage. And if you failed, you messed up. That's on you.
Wow.
Right?
You're right on point.
Biden to me is old, but I still think he's more sound in mind than Trump. And when I say that, Trump is about Trump.
You take the lesser of the two evils, is what you're saying.
And I'm tired of choosing the lesser of the two evils, but this man is dangerous.
Why don't you run, Sassy? Because I think we need.
Well, I said if I run, I'm a run, and I'm gonna do like the idiots in Congress, Marjorie Taylor Greene and Lauren Bobo, whatever her name is, who was feeling her man up at an event with children. The family values party.
Wow.
I want to run so I can get free health care and money for life.
Oh, is that what the congressman did?
That's my platform. I want to run to get free money. You get free health care for life after 2 years. All you need to do is run 2 years. You get Medicare, your health care for life, and whatever your salary is, you get that for life. So I'll take $120,000. I'll take $120,000.
Well, let me be clear, Sassy. Are you talking about congressmen get that, or are you talking about presidents get that?
Congressmen get that, but presidents get Secret Service.
Right, he gets Secret Service already life, and then I think, do they still get the $250,000 check?
No, they don't still get the money, but they still get the Secret Service. I don't want my tax dollars protecting Trump. Let his ass flap out there in the wind with somebody. He doesn't deserve it. He doesn't deserve it. If you or I took a government document, we wouldn't be talking to each other right now. We'd be trying to flee like Edward Snowden, or what's the girl's name? What was her name? Reality Winter, who's locked up. And she took it by mistake. He took 600 boxes and put them in the bathroom in his golf club with access to everybody.
And that wasn't by mistake. That was by design.
That was by design. He thought it was his. It's mine. The man is dangerous. And anyone who thinks otherwise is just as dangerous. Just as dangerous. I mean, and then I think what's going to hopefully propel Biden is that they're talking about taking away Social Security. Now, you're going to take people's Social Security and they don't work 40, 50 years. Where's the money going? Because you're not giving it back to them.
Yeah, where do you think the money's going? Is it going in their pockets? Is that what you're thinking?
Well, the money's going to go somewhere. They're not telling you because they haven't figured it out where the money's going to go. Yeah, but they want to privatize it so that the rich people can make money off of it. So you're still going to have to pay a payroll tax. It's not like Social Security is going away.
You don't know where it's going.
Right. It's sort of like that FSA, that flex spending account you used to get at work. If you didn't spend all that money on your health care at the end of the calendar year, that money went away and it didn't come back to you. Wow. Which is why I never opted in for those.
So let me ask you again. We kind of jumped on Trump, but did we finish Diddy? Did you finish your Diddy talk?
I finished my Diddy talk because Diddy to me, I don't know. It's always been something about him. I always have an issue. You're the producer. You don't need to be in front of the cameras. Let your people shine. I dated a music producer. He never wanted to be on camera. He let his ass do the talking for him. Right. He was on everybody's album. We ain't going. Like he's on everybody.
Nowhere. Yeah.
You know, he had his fingers in everything. And if this and I believe what happened between him and Karesha is true, because she filed a lawsuit on Wednesday, Thursday, she had a check. Now, whether that check was written by the insurance underwriters or by the board of directors or whatever, she had a check the next day. You don't get a check without receipts. And I read the 75-page indictment.
Oh, you did?
I read it. I read everything. I read everything that is available out there for me to read. I read the indictment and the things that he had her do.
Crazy, right? Let me ask you something. What shocked you the most if you read the 75 page? What shocked you the most?
What shocked me the most is that she did it. What shocked me the most is how seductive fame and fortune is. That you're willing to literally sell your soul. Now, I have to look at myself in the morning. I have to be able to look in the mirror and know that I am at my core a good individual, a decent individual. I may be a little ratchet. I may cuss like a sailor, but I'm a good, kind-hearted individual. And to be that manipulative and that cunning to coerce, persuade, whatever language word you want to use, drug up a woman to do the things that she did for your enjoyment, not hers. Not hers.
Wow.
And it's fame and fortune. It's seductive.
Yeah, well, you know, they do say, Sassy, that one of the biggest drugs in the game is attention and fame. It's one of the biggest drugs in the game. And, you know, people will do whatever they have to do to get it. They'll make whatever songs they have to make to get it. They'll do whatever crime they have to do to get it, as long as they get it. That's how intoxicating that drug of fame and attention really is. They'll go for the attention even if they got the money, because it's that drug is so big, man. And I think it's hard to let loose when you've got to let go of it when you had it. That's why the people who had that fame before, you know, and then you're no longer, as they say, a A-list celebrity. Now you're a D-list celebrity. You know, they go for some stuff because, hey, nobody's paying attention no more, and they need people to pay attention.
I guess it really does have to weigh on your psyche. Because, I mean, I just know when we would do events, I worked on a radio station here in Baltimore, and when we would do events and put the stanchions up, just the way in which people were like, well, who are they? What are they doing? What's going on over there? How can I get behind that? Like, it's just a rope. It's just a freaking rope. But that rope has so many other attachments to it that those people were like going crazy. And I'm sitting there cracking up because I'm like, it's just me. It's Sassy. I'm really nobody in the grand scheme of things, but y'all are clamoring to get behind this rope. And it's madness.
Everybody want to be there. Just in case you're joining us, you're listening to the Bennie Randall Show. I'm your host, Bennie Randall Jr., and we're talking to Sassy, a.k.a. Sassy Scribe, about current events. And every time we bring her on, we get in trouble. But that's all right then. We're gonna keep it going on because she is part of the family. Let's just take a break for the cause for our sponsors.
Okay.
Make sure you go to VanoyMag.com and check out all the powerful magazines that they have for entrepreneurs and everything entrepreneurs. I'm telling you, some of the biggest nuggets in the world of entrepreneurship, and make sure you get the latest edition with the Shark Tank. I mean, they drop some real knowledge about being 15 years, you know, in the game as an entrepreneur. Things. So let's bring Sassy back in. Sassy, how you doing?
I'm doing good. Can we talk about my girl now?
Oh Lordy, well, let's talk about Sassy Girl. Just in case you don't know who Sassy Girl is, let's just run this clip from the Breakfast Club.
The Daily Wire severs ties with Candace Owens. The right-wing media outlet co-founded by Ben Shapiro said Friday that it had severed ties with Candace Owens, and Owens took to her own post saying, "The rumors are true. I am finally free." Okay, spoken like a true black woman. If you would like to support my work, you can head to CandaceOwens.com, where you will be directed to my locals page, or you can give a gift at GoCandace.com. I don't know how many gifts you're going to get, but there will be many announcements in weeks to come. All right? So basically, when she was up here, she had spoke a little bit about that before they severed ties with her.
Because, you know, there was a video circulating of him calling me a disgrace and a faux professional or whatever it was. And I decided to choose peace. And then when I chose peace, he responded to the peace with not peace.
So why wouldn't he just fire you?
Well, as I explained on Tucker Carlson's show, like Ben doesn't have the power to fire me.
I guess she was proven wrong with that, Sassy. Right
First
after
of
that
all,
show, they fired him. Talk about it, Sassy. This is your girl.
Where do I begin?
Where
Number
you
one,
want to.
I have had an issue with this chick from day one, the minute I started hearing her rhetoric. And I'm not saying she's not smart. I'm not saying she's not intelligent. What I'm saying is she's not for the culture. Period. Skin folk ain't kinfolk all the time. And she had an issue way back yonder, as the folks would say, where she needed the assistance of the NAACP. Now let's fast forward to today, and everything she says about our community is disparaging. I'm not saying she's not right about some of the issues in our community. I'm saying she speaks with the tongue of a white supremacist. That's what I'm saying. And for that, she's never invited to the cookout. So now she's fired, right? She knew it was coming down the pipe. She's not stupid. She didn't get fired for the Breakfast Club. She knew, she saw the writing on the wall. And anybody listening to this, you know when you're in hot water at work, you can feel when you're almost out the door. She felt that. So now what she's trying to do is crawl back to the melanated collective, the Black community. That's what she's trying to do.
Oh my goodness! So
And
you saying she come back because they threw her out? But I don't know. I was listening to that Breakfast Club interview, and it didn't seem like seemed like she was trying to bring him in, but she didn't care either way.
That's
what it
BS.
is.
That's BS. She has a freaking GoFundMe page, a donation and shit. Excuse me. She has donations. Go help Candace. If you don't need us, isn't your husband a millionaire and your father-in-law a billionaire? You shouldn't even be working.
Wow. Exactly. Real talk.
You had no need to work. Right? So now you're coming back. You're coming back to trying to come back. So then we have Charlemagne and DJ Envy, not the most savviest of politicians or political commentators that they have.
They're just journalists.
I'm sorry, they're not politicians, but they're not politically savvy. They say things, but they don't go deep into it. So they didn't fact check her. They didn't push back. They just let her come out there and speak. And again, I'm not saying that the things that she said were incorrect. It's the way in which she says it.
Like, so what tell me what your beef is with what she says about some things. Can you point out something?
Well, for one thing, she said George Floyd caused his own death. As if you nor I didn't see that man with his knee on his neck for 10 minutes.
Wow.
Just wanting people to comply. Talking about black on black crime. It is black on black crime. But technically, every little community has white on white crime, Asian on Asian crime, Hispanic on Hispanic crime, black on black crime. But they look at our community for everything. Mind you, we set the trend for everything. Hair, nails, jewelry, fashion, music, style comes from our culture. We make things hot. We make things go viral. You think Risa Tisa would have went viral if it wasn't for us?
Oh, that's
White
true
people
too.
weren't retweeting it until we did it. We make everything hot. Do not discount our community. We make $1 out of 15 cents. We've learned how to do it.
How come we make everything hot, but we don't get the whole pot?
We make everything hot. We don't get the whole pot. We don't support each other because we've been culturally conditioned. We've been culturally conditioned to always be pitted against each other. And I think we're beginning to see this trend where people are trying to or beginning to focus more on Black owned. I switched all of my doctors. You know what I'm saying? So I when I buy things now, is it Black owned? When I go to restaurants, is it Black owned? I have even been more proactive and supporting Black owned businesses. I may pay a little more, I may have to travel a little further.
Right,
but we need to support each other. This woman I'm trying to be nice. I'm on the Bennie Randall show. Not sassy. But I'm like, this woman she deliberately chose the Breakfast Club and she deliberately chose Joe Budden. 3 individuals in their audience who are not politically savvy. Go on Joy Reid, Miss Owens. Go on Roland Martin, Miss Owens. Go on the Karen Hunter show, Miss Owens. Come on Situations with Sassy.
Oh,
come on, Women Talk Live.
That would be a firestorm right there.
I'm just saying she's going on to she's going on the platforms that aren't where people don't dive deep. They're not going to
challenge her. Is that what you're saying?
Right.
They're not going to challenge her.
Right. And it's a lot of Black journalists and shows that are out here that would challenge her. You know who I would like to see, and I can't stand this person either. But I like to see her and Umar go at it.
Oh yeah.
And I'm not a fan of him.
Charlamagne suggested that she was like, Umar, who is that?
Yes, exactly. That's why she needs to do it. You can debate T.I. or what's the other guys? I can't even think of the other guy's name. And you can debate them, but they can't go.
You heard what she said about T.I. that she, he's a closet conservative because she said that they had previous conversations privately, and he talks about all his conservativeness, but out in the public he's hooting and hollering something different. And she was like, he's not real. Like, she kind of went off.
That's a lie. He's a straight up whore. How is he conservative and he's still sticking and moving with multiple women? A whore is not a conservative.
I'm sorry, I missed that one. Who are you referring to?
T.I. How many times has he cheated on Tiny? How many times has he been unfaithful to Tiny? She recently, as a matter of fact, made a post. I don't know, it was a few weeks ago someone sent it to me, where she was like, what do you do when you have this man and he's good to you? He's a good father. He's a good provider. All of these accolades. And at the end, she said, but he cheat. What do you do? You're going to do one or two things. You're either going to leave or you're going to maintain your lifestyle, turn the other cheek, and do you. Stop putting it out on social media what your man is doing. People see your man in the streets. They know he's for the streets. You can be conservative. And I think black men are more conservative than black women. You know why? Because they're concerned about your body count. What's your body count? The vitriol that we have now in the whole relationship space with black men and women. Brothers don't want to pay $40. Sisters don't think $30 is enough for lunch. You can't take me to Applebee's. You got to take me to Ocean Air or the Palm or something like that. All of this entitled mindset. And ladies, you're gonna hate me, but I have boys, and by boys I mean my great nephews and my nephews. Mm-hmm. And this is what I tell them: if she's not happy with going to Panera, she's for the streets. Sorry. You don't have to spend $200 on a date. If she is about you, it's not going to matter where you take her. But if she's like, oh, this man took me to this place and all I got was this and it was on, she's not for you. She's not. And women need to push back when they see these videos of women trying to literally embarrass men for doing things for them. So y'all are not going to like me. My nephews, my cousins, my male cousins, they don't have to spend $40 or $100 on you. They don't have to. They don't have to get your hair done. They don't have to get your nails done. That is general maintenance and upkeep as a woman.
We're gonna flip it and over to these topics now. But before we do, I just want to say this. Opinions expressed here are not necessarily that of the Bennie Randall Show. They're not necessarily that of our advertisers, and there's not necessarily that of Vanoy Media. The opinions expressed here tonight are the opinions of Situation with Sassy, aka Sassy Scribe. And now that we got that out the way, let's move on.
I love it. Everybody has to have a caveat when I'm on the show. Everybody. Every show I go on, it's a caveat.
We gotta have that disclaimer for you, man. We gotta have that because you be saying stuff, people go wild or whatnot. So
Right.
let's talk about what's going on in relationships, and especially that relationships between Black men and women. Tell me how you feel about what's going on nowadays. Like you just started it talking about, I remember seeing a clip where a young lady did not want to get married because he wouldn't spend $50,000 on the wedding. He was like, go ahead.
It wasn't 50,000. It
What
was
was it?
250,000.
Oh, okay. I stand corrected. 200,000.
$250,000 on a wedding.
Right.
And then
I don't even think they got a house.
It doesn't matter. If you're telling me, if that was my brother and I saw that clip, I'm calling her up and cussing her out, and I'm calling him up and telling him he needs to let her go. $250,000. And listen, I plan weddings. I plan the majority of the weddings of my relatives. At the most expensive one was about 65 grand.
All right. That's a nice
but
little
they
penny.
didn't pay for it. Mom and daddy paid for that.
Oh.
You see what I'm saying? They didn't pay for it. This man is going to marry this woman. I mean, Benny, this man is going to marry this woman, and she's more concerned about the wedding than the marriage. It's a problem. And then told him he was speaking like he had broke man language, speaking like a broke man.
Do you think the younger generation now, meaning let's say 25 to 35, do you think they're being brought up in a way now where it's a lot of monetary type of ambitions, where it's like the hell with love? If he got money, I'm dating them, and I'm gonna need him to spend all the money on me. What is your take on that, Sassy?
Yes, it's transactional. It's transactional in a monetary sense. We know relationships are transactional. They're give and take and the compromise. But the way in which you have all of these clips that you see, all of these new podcast hosts and podcast gurus talking about relationships. Listen, I started situations with Sassy over 20 years ago, maybe even longer than that. And when I think about the bridge, I was doing it to bridge the communication gap between men and women, particularly Black men and women. And now when I look at it, it's like an ocean of the chasm between the two. And it doesn't, and the older you get, it's not that you don't want a relationship, but the older you get more wary and you get more comfortable doing you and not having the headache and not having the disappointments. But this younger generation, if she isn't doing XYZ, she's for the streets. If he's not paying XYZ, he's broke. And it's transactional. And they were raised in social media. So they do everything for clicks and likes. I had this discussion with my cousin Sunday. He was like, do you think it's real? I said, I think some of it's real. I also think some of it's staged, particularly for clicks and likes.
So let me ask you what you thought of it. And man, when you're having fun, time goes so fast. We got like 15 minutes left, child. Let me ask you this. Reese Tisa, what did you think about that and that phenomenon and how it went viral? Do you think it was the situations of how she did it, or was it people were so fascinated because a woman is just telling her story in her plain words? Like, what was it made this get millions and millions of hits?
First of all, Black women made that go viral. Second of all, I didn't watch all of them. I watched one. One video told me everything I needed to know. She met a man during the pandemic. They had the shelter in place. They ended up getting married. He lied the entire time. They ended up getting divorced. She admitted she did it because she was desperate. Those 6 points. I didn't need to listen to the whole thing. And then fun fact, my cousin told me that her husband hit her up on Plenty of Fish because I believe that they live here in the DMV. So what I
There's
think is
there's
this.
a lot of stuff behind that story, and I wouldn't be surprised if somebody makes a movie or show out of
Well,
it.
you know what?
But
Let her get her money.
you're saying that black women made that
Yes.
go viral because of how they
Yes.
feel about themselves, or what?
No,
Why?
black women made it go viral because it's like, girl, did you see? I can't tell you how many text messages I got, how many inbox messages I got with different clips on every platform that I'm on. He was like, Sassy, did you see this? Sassy, did you see that? I'm like, yes, I saw it. I'm not listening to it. Yes, I saw it. I'm not listening. I didn't need to see anything else. She was desperate and she admitted it. I'm happy that the girl got her money. I'm happy that she got her money. But here is the thing. Now that she has acquired this following, she's going to have to feed them. And that's where I don't think she has the wherewithal to feed them, because that was a story. That was one story. Unless she starts, chronicling every date that she goes on and everything that's bad, I don't see the appeal. I don't see the charisma. She was very logical and very chronological from what I understand and how she told the story, but that was just one story. So can she maintain that? Can she propel it? I don't know. Maybe she'll sell it. Maybe she'll sell her story and they'll make a BET or a Lifetime movie, or it might be on Peacock or Hulu or something, but
somebody, what it sounds like, you're thinking that she's going to be a one-hit wonder.
I do. And that's only because of her energy. You know
it's
what
only,
I'm saying?
it's only one story. So what could work though?
What?
And they ain't got to pay me for this. I'm just sure what could work if she started highlighting other women who went through similar situations and letting them tell their story. And she's like the host or some of that, because you can only go so.
It's too late. Women are already doing that. I saw a clip yesterday.
I seen a white woman say she was, who did I marry? Like, name it, part 2.
Yes.
Where was part 1?
No. Well, I don't know if it's part 1 or 2, but then I saw a clip last night, already got 1.8 million views on Twitter, where a chick was married with 3 kids. Husband is deployed overseas. I'll send you the clip. Husband is deployed overseas, right? She put the caveat in there, and I just want to say, my husband overseas, and I don't see him that much. He only come home 3 or 4 times a year for a couple of weeks. She said, so sister get lonely. I said, okay, I know where it's going. Sister get lonely.
Sister get lonely.
She said a one night stand turned into an every night stand, and now a B is pregnant. Now,
wow, our man is in the military, probably sending money home, and
no. It gets better. So the dude that she's seeing, right? She goes to his house, starts looking at family photos, and who does she see? But her husband in one of them.
I'm confused.
Right. So it turns out this man that she's sleeping with, that she is now pregnant by, is her husband's brother with different father.
Wow.
Surprise.
That's crazy. You think he knew that before or no?
No, because he said, she was asking him questions like, oh, is he married? She was like, yeah. He was like, yeah. And then showed him a picture of another woman that he is with in Germany with their 2 kids.
Wow, this sounds like a movie for the theaters.
It's a movie for the theater. And she went to TikTok to ask for advice. What am I gonna do? I'm like, well, both of y'all done screwed up. But she even asked the guy, she said, well, did you meet his wife? She said, no. He said, no, but here I have a picture. And she said, I'm saying stuff in my mind, and I just kept asking questions. So everybody's doing it. Everybody is looking for that viral moment, but can they handle it?
Right. Because when it comes fast, it comes hard. And, if you ain't got nothing to back it up, it will leave just as quick.
Yep. You got 15 minutes, and everybody, we see it, Benny. Everybody wants their 15 minutes. You see it. Some of the most vile things that they say. If you're not a real woman if you don't give your man your check. You're not a real man if you don't give a woman your check. You're not a real man if you're not making sure that she ate or need to be ate. Sorry.
That's why sometimes I have to turn off the camera when I'm talking to you. Because you sometimes you say to something, I don't even want to see my picture right next to yours when you're saying it. I'd be like,
plausible deniability.
like put her on the screen by herself, man, because Sassy don't give a damn.
I don't.
You know what I mean?
I mean, it's what it is. And then as you get older, it gets even worse as you get older, because you have men that are in their 50s still thinking. And I went to an event Sunday, and I think we talked, and it was 1,500 people there. And you still had these men who were still thinking they was in their, their heyday. And the same with the women. It's like, enjoy your age. I love my age. I'm at a point in my life where I don't give two F's. I say what I want to say. I do what I want to do. And I don't care if you like it or not. In the grand scheme of things, my life hasn't changed in the 5 minutes that you liked it or didn't like it.
That's true. That's absolutely true. Wow, Sassy, we got about 10 minutes. What's on your mind, Sassy? Like we don't know.
I done said it.
we got about 10 minutes. Let's talk a little bit more about all these different relationship things that are going by, in today's society. And Sassy, what do you think about women now proposing marriage to their men and getting the ring? What do you think about that?
Absolutely not. I will be single forever before I get on a knee and ask a man to marry me. I may be I'm an extremely liberal person, but I'm traditional in a lot of ways. I'm very traditional in a lot of ways.
So what do you think is this new grade of women?
No, I think women just think that
the men, like, I don't understand. It's always been traditional for, a man to court the woman and to propose to the woman and all these things to the woman. What's going on?
Well, first of all, people aren't dating. There are 4 steps when it comes to dating, just dating, not even a relationship aspect. So you meet. Number 1 is you meet, right? Number 2 is you talk, right? So you're talking to each other. And number 3, you're going to go into that phase of really being, talking about just being exclusive with each other to see where it's going to go. And then that final one is when you say, okay, that's it. This is me and you. It may not necessarily be marriage, but it's a monogamous, committed relationship. And people aren't doing that. Date 1, date 2, date 3, sex. Date 4, ghost. Date 1, date 2, date 3, date 4, date 5, sex. Date 6, ghost. Women waiting the 90 days, 91 days, he might ghost you. If all he wants is sex, he can wait you out. He can wait you out. Do what you want to do. And I tell women on my show, if you want to have sex with him on day 1, have sex with him on day 1. If you don't. But you control that. Women control everything. They just don't realize how much power they really have. And men will tell them, the late, great Kevin Samuels would call me a leftover woman. Yeah. But I still know my power. And I still have it.
Nobody can do anything to you unless you allow it. So what somebody's opinion of means absolutely nothing.
Absolutely nothing.
What I mean?
Absolutely nothing. But it's a lot of lonely men and women.
So Sassy, before we get out of here, do you think Black women who are older have a harder time of dating now? And if so, why?
I think it's maybe a 2 or 3-fold process. One, as we get older, I've noticed and recognized that men of other ethnicities express more interest. And I don't know if it's because they're old and realize that people are people. And I think we as Black women are in our box where we only want that Black man and we don't allow ourselves to listen. Black men have no problem dating women of other races, none whatsoever. But we are so steeped in our head about a Black man that we could literally be blocking our blessings and ignoring these men of other races. 2, we're tired. We don't have a whole lot of time for back and forth, for you not to be sure, for you to be inconsistent. We don't have time for that. We can stay over here, travel, do our hobbies, and live our life and enjoy life. And 3, I think that Black men don't really want women our age. I think they want younger women. I think they want women, but I think they want younger women because younger women in their mind can be more manageable, more pliable.
Why do you-
They're more persuasive. A grown woman.
Sassy, why do you say manageable? And we're gonna have to call you. We're gonna have to have you back on another show. We got like 5 minutes left, and we ain't even.
By
we
manageable, I mean by pliable, manipulative. You're able to persuade them, to talk to them. And what I tell my brothers that are my age, it's your money, boo. I'll do whatever you want me to do, but it's transactional, and you need to understand that.
So if it's transactional, that means what love's got to do with this?
Love has nothing to do with it. If you want all of this, it's going to cost you a new cell phone, a car note, rent. It's going to cost you something with these. I don't need your money. I'm not saying you can't bring some bricks over here and help me build, but I don't need it. My life is not going to crumble if I don't have your money.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? The lights are still going to be on. The cable, everything is still going to work.
But if they want that, they got to come correct. Is that what you're saying?
You just have to come correct. If you're going to come to me, be intentional to me and about me and for me. Intent. Be intentional.
Ooh. Like I always say, when you bring Sassy on, ain't nothing but a firestorm. Ladies and gentlemen. Sassy, if people want to reach out to you, where can they reach out to you and learn more?
You can go to just Google Sassy Scribe and you can follow me. I'm on every platform, literally every platform as Sassy Scribe.
All right.
Tumblr, Twitter, is it Twitter or X? Tumblr, Twitter, X, Snapchat, Facebook, Instagram, Threads, Reddit, Quora. I'm on every platform as Sassy Scribe.
Let me tell you. And the $1 million question: when is Sassy coming back with her Shut the Hell Up show and Sassy Scribe?
I don't know.
When is Sassy coming back? That's what the people want to know.
Sassy may come back, but Sassy may do it her way. May just do it herself.
Ooh, ladies and gentlemen, Sassy
herself. Oh, and listen, let me tell you, Sassy is now part owner of WPB Media Networks. So I may be there.
Go on, do your thing, girl. I am at your ownership. I always talk about ownership.
Yes, I know you do. I know you do to motivate.
Everything I have, I own. You know what I mean? This studio, the other studio, the magazines, everything we have, we own 100%.
100%.
We got to be in control of our narrative if we want our narrative to have a chance of existing. That's
another good question. How advertisers really don't spend the media dollars.
You about to
black
start
media.
We're gonna have to come up.
We got to come back with that one.
Yeah, we got to. You keep write that down because we'll come back with that. We got about 3 minutes here, and whatnot. I know you get started on that. We're just gonna click off. You know what I mean?
We don't want that to happen. But Bennie, listen, thank you so much for having me on the Bennie Randall Show. It's always a pleasure. I thank you for allowing me to be my most true and authentic self.
And that's all we ever ask for Sassy to be herself. And I appreciate you for coming on the Bennie Randall Show, where we believe it's your business to know. Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, you are listening to put you in the green room, Sassy. Wait till I get back. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being another episode of the Bennie Randall Show. I'm your host, Bennie Randall Jr., a.k.a. The Motivator. And if you want to learn more about me, you can go over to BennieRandall.com. If you want to see full episode of this and other powerful episodes, you can go to Vanoy Media on YouTube, or you can go to Vanoy.com, VONOI, and see the live versions over there. All right. It's like pleasure in my heart and my soul that you allow me into your hearts and your homes. And remember, I love you and you can't do a damn thing about it, ladies and gentlemen. Until next time, God bless you and everything you stand for.